Good evening and welcome to E-Bible Fellowship's Bible study in the book of Genesis. Tonight is study number 1 of Genesis chapter 1, and I'm going to read the first several verses. Genesis 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And I'll stop reading there. Now, when we come to the book of Genesis, of course, this is the opening statement of the Bible. It is actually a statement in which God describes in a single verse, in a few words, he describes the origins of all things seen and unseen. God tells us, he explains, and gives us a full explanation concerning the existence of all things, as mankind has often wondered, where did everything come from? As he looks up into the sky and he sees the stars at night, or the bright shining of the sun during the day, or as a person would walk around and see the flowers and the trees and the flowing stream and the rabbits running, and come to a little anthill and see these curious creatures swarming around the anthill, and so many other creatures, the birds flying and so forth. Everywhere we look in this world, we see things that exist, and we have our own bodies and our own thoughts and our own existence, and God has given man a mind to think and reason and to ponder things. And so man has wondered for as long as man has been upon the earth, after the fall into sin, and for many thousands of years, mankind has had the thought, where did everything come from? Now, God is here giving a full explanation. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And this gives the solution to the mystery of the question, where did the mountains come from? Where did the seas and the whales and other sea creatures come from? Where did man come from? Where did the world itself and the universe out there come from? The answer God gives. The answer the Bible gives. And the Bible provides an answer that is the only answer, really, the only solution that actually solves the mystery, that actually answers the question concerning origins, is, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And now, yes, there's other questions. Well, who is God? And where did he come from? But as far as the origin of this present creation, and of all things that exist, that we can see, feel, touch, hear, smell, and so forth, discern by our senses, the answer is God. God created it. Now, contrast that with modern scientific thought with what is taught today in universities and schools all over the world. And that is that the universe had a natural origin. That is, there was no force, no being known as God that created all things. No, the natural mind of man rejects God. They reject him because they cannot see him nor touch him or use their senses to detect him. Therefore, according to the natural mind of man, who is limited really to the things of this world, God does not exist. He is outside the natural sphere of things. He's outside the physical realm. They cannot detect him or prove him. And according to science or modern scientific thought, God does not exist. And since God does not exist, he is not a possible explanation for the existence of all things. And therefore, the brilliant minds of the people of the earth, the scientists especially, begin to put their minds to work. How can we explain existence? How can we explain where everything came from? And they have developed a theory for a long time called the Big Bang. And here's a quote from Live Science, and I'll just read a paragraph, and it says, according to the standard Big Bang model, the universe was born during a period of inflation that began about 13.7 billion years ago, like a rapidly expanding balloon. It swelled from a size smaller than an electron to nearly its current size within a tiny fraction of a second. That's the bang. It was the size of an electron, about, and then something happened, and it swelled, it expanded like a balloon. When you blow air into a balloon, it gets ever bigger, 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 until it's at its current size. Now, some scientists, through projecting their telescopes into deep space, have noted that the universe is still increasing, still expanding, still stretching further outward. And so they reason that it's still the effects of the Big Bang as the universe is ever increasing, ever expanding. Well, that's fine. That's fine, except they use the little sleight of hand with this explanation. And, often students sitting in school and hearing their professor, they give the professor a lot of credit, and they think that the scientists, they have the answers. They certainly know about these things. And especially when they say 13.7 billion years ago, the 0.7 adds an aura of authenticity to the statement. Rather than saying 13 or 14 billion years, they're specific. 13.7 billion years ago.